Hello everyone, welcome back to another Roman Reacts. We are here today to watch another video from Dead Sound. This one is a continuation of his lore videos, and not too long ago I did react to one of his latest video, which is episode 3 of his Sauria series, and talked about some really interesting stuff. So it's going to be really exciting to see what the lore about the episode 3 is all about, including its denizens and things like that. So anyway, let's just dive on in, have some fun with this, and have a good time. I really am excited because I just, I don't know why. Just something about this just really like hooked me. I'm like, I want to watch. I want to know what's going to happen next, sort of situation, you know. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? All right. Here we go. So the Fell, Sauria's lore compendium. So yeah, no doubt there's going to be some interesting stuff. So yeah, anyway, I do wonder, there's no doubt there's other people out there who've done reactions too, but hopefully they did some reactions for the lore bits as well, because they're just as important. And anyway, let's dive in, shall we? 3, 2, and double checking 1.
Hello, my name is David. Sauria is a brutal, primordial, dark fantasy world. It's full of dangerous wildlife, cultists, bandits, and numerous warring factions. In this video, I'll be going over the backstory and lore behind the Fell. Often the subject of fairy tale and folklore, these terrifying and evil creatures are in fact the twisted remnants of a once mighty dynasty. The forefathers were once a grand civilization, a supremely intelligent race of scholars and scientists. At their height, they managed to conquer the whole of Sauria. But something happened, and 5,000 years ago, the forefathers all mysteriously disappeared, leaving nothing but the ruins of their grand cities, their statues, and their libraries behind. It isn't known, it isn't remembered whether the forefathers were benevolent peacekeepers or tyrannical rulers. They rose to power at a time when almost all other Saurian cultures were in their infancy. Only the most impossibly ancient of the Arctic Saurians may have further knowledge on these mysterious people. It is believed that through their heedless search for knowledge, the forefathers began to experiment and study the art of sorcery. Magic is an inherently evil and corrupting force in the land of Sauria, but the forefathers had conquered everything. They wanted to know everything, and through this deep, dark search for answers, for power, they managed to attract the attention of forces far beyond the usual comprehension of mortal beings. This is what led to their sudden extinction. For centuries, the Fell were believed to be nothing more than myths. They were the subject of folklore, often portrayed as skulking, sickened things that steal livestock at night, kidnap travellers, and perform perverse sacrificial rituals based on the phases of Sauria's dual moons. The Fell usually live in small groups, eking out livings in the absolute darkest corners of the world. But their numbers have been rising lately. More and more are awakening, and their physical resemblance to the grand statues of that ancient and revered civilization cannot be ignored. Whatever truly happened to the forefathers, the Fel are all that's left of them. The Fel are feral husks, witches and cultists worshipping abhorrent cosmic gods. Unlike other Saurians, they cannot speak and cannot be reasoned with. They are truly unnatural things, so deeply corrupted by dark magical forces that they poison the very flora and fauna around their nests. With enough time, all living things around them will wilt and sicken. Fel covens are often led by one or more immensely powerful and magically corrupted Fel priests. These tortured souls sew their eyes shut and bind their mouths closed. This self-inflicted mutilation may be to help elevate their other senses, their magical abilities, but could also just simply be a side effect of the madness one succumbs to after learning so much. Perhaps this twisted creature sews its eyes shut to stop itself from seeing the impossible and terrifying things it cannot unsee. And perhaps its mouth is bound to stop itself from constantly screaming. The Fel are very gifted in the art of sorcery and take advantage of a lot of spells, curses, and magical rituals. They are perhaps most infamous for the Fel-seeing curse, a dark magical brand, a mark that corrupts the mind and zombifies the victim. Under this curse's influence, the victim will bend to the will of the Fel. They mostly use this curse on animals. Animals they can use as tools, use as weapons, and use as spies. Generally, the darker and more powerful the spell, the more life essence is required to cast it. This essence can come from the caster, but that is very dangerous. No, one is far better off receiving this essence from the possession and slaughter of wild animals. But far more of this precious magical resource is acquired through the slaughter of intelligent Saurians. The land of Sauria is very sick. Perverse energies leak out of the world's very core, and it is these energies that form the foundation of any given Saurian's magical abilities. The more one studies this dangerous science, the more powerful they may become, but this power comes with a sickness of the mind and the flesh. Magic's energies come directly from the great Elder Ones, cosmic beings, gods, things that the Fel worship. Despite this inherent danger, most Saurian races practice magic to some extent, but usually in such small quantities it's mostly harmless. The Kindred of the Tusk war chieftain Torox, for example, is infamous for wielding an enchanted mace that is blessed with the power of lightning. One can overcome a certain amount of magic's corrupting properties with a strong sense of will. But magic is generally considered a very dangerous thing to study in Sauria. Many factions have old and untraceable and foreboding folktales of how dangerous this art can be. Repeatedly, these stories say that the study will lead the individual to madness and their homelands to plague and famine. A handful of Saurian factions even totally abstain from using the art. The Arctic Saurians, for example, do not practice magic at all, but this is more so because of their dedication to the great Maya, mother of Sauria. The Great Maya is Sauria's benevolent nature goddess, and her spiritual energies are very real and very separate from magic. Though she will not immediately grant the user great and dangerous power, her ethereal energies are essential to the health of the realm, and to many, she is seen as the arch enemy of the dark, corrupting forces of sorcery. It is worth noting that the Arctic Saurians are just as old as the forefathers, and though on the brink of extinction, they are still alive. Perhaps it is their dedication to the Great Maya and not the Great Elder Ones that has kept them safe. Another faction that abstains from using magic are the Avisaurians, the Blue Song Empire. This is because the Blue Song are trying to succeed where the forefathers failed, and whatever caused the downfall of this once almighty civilization was clearly tied to the study of sorcery, and therefore the art has been outlawed, forbidden, across the entire empire.
Okay. Sorry, yawning. I don't mean to be tired.
The Transcended are incredibly powerful and immensely evil things, but they were once mortal Saurians. Saurians so deeply engrossed in the art of sorcery, so deeply corrupted by its evil forces, they managed to garner the attention of the great Elder Ones themselves.
I see that dinosaur Cthulhu.
These beings have been blessed. They've been transformed, transcended into eldritch demigods. Once simple, mortal people twisted into powerful and terrifying and very evil servants of the great Elder Ones. It's important to know that from the perspective of the mortal people of Sauria, the great Elder Ones, the actual cosmic gods, are not immediately dangerous. They are all-powerful, they are unkillable, they are the source of all evil in Sauria. They could, perhaps, destroy the entire realm on a whim, but they're mostly indifferent to Sauria's existence. They are not interested in the individual and insignificant goings-on of the mortal realm. The Transcended Ones, however, are very, very interested. Because the Transcended Ones were once mortal, they have a deep interest in this world. They've walked this ground, they've met its people, they likely have enemies. And because the Transcended Ones were once mortal, they can be sadistic. They can play games. Unlike the great Elder Ones, who have no real concept of time or life or death, the Transcended know these things all too well. And with the power they wield, and their minions, the Fel, rising in number, the Transcended Ones are easily becoming the biggest threat to ever face the land of Sauria. The Great Elder Ones are unknowable eldritch cosmic beings. They are the source of all magic in Sauria and are generally considered a very
The less learned of the great Elder Ones
Whew.
And
All right.
that's it. That's pretty much all I have written down about the Fel, about the Transcended ones, about the Great Elder ones so far. If you'd like to read the full sketchbook I've been showing off in this video and scour my notes for yourself for anything that I may have missed, the whole sketchbook from start to finish is available right now on my Patreon page for just $5.
Amazing stuff.
In the meantime, super special thanks to all my top Patreon supporters on screen right now. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. So, again, thank you.
That's just amazing. I am completely believe that there's going to be much more coming for this series, and I do hope that he continues with like more episodes and more interactions between other races and whatnot. And it just from the Saurians who live in the desert to the Thunder Tusks who fight for their survivals, the Blue Song and their empire, and then the nomadic Arctic Saurians who are wish to be left alone. It just everything about this just begs to get more stories told, and then the transcended ones, and the Fel, it's like a curse almost, like the ones when they practice their sorceries to try to learn more things. My guess is that something happened where they've delved so deep into it that they became corrupted and they devolved basically, and the Fel are basically the descendants of those that lived, and I'm guessing that something's going to occur that's going to cause the rest of the Saurian nations to like try to stop it. But at the same time, you just never know. You just don't know as to like what's going to happen. It just like it's very like a eldritch thing that's like with the transcended ones who like they know what like everything around, and like they just don't care. They like to do their playthings, manipulations and things like that. And manipulations is probably one of the worst things you can ever imagine, because people don't even realize that being manipulated or being lied to until it's too late. And just ooh, this is really cool. I really like this. So yeah, that is it for me, guys, on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Be sure to support Dead Sound. I'm going to be putting this thing up here for you. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Bring some friends along to have some fun watching these videos. I do apologize once again that I was feeling a little tired. I've been doing a lot of recordings, but also trying to do. I got to get to work soon. Got a late shift, so I'll catch you all in the next one. Okay, guys. So stay awesome and take care of yourselves. And as always, Romans, salute.